G'day there, welcome back to another episode of Togl. Well, as you just saw, we got a bit of snow the other day. It probably only lasted about 15 minutes, but boy, it was coming down thick at some parts. Didn't seem to bother the cows at all. Anyway, this one will be a short one because it has just been raining for weeks now. And we've still got another 9-10 days as far out as the forecast goes, which is usually about 8 to 9 days. It's just rain every day. So I've just popped up here to check on the cows, and I thought I'd have a quick look, make sure the water's still flowing as it should be through some of these roadways that I'd done. So we're just gonna have a quick look at that now. And yeah, like I said, this one will be a pretty short one, so apologies for that, but when it's raining, there's not much work getting done. All right. So approaching where we did this work the other day, or last week, you can see that it's working well. This hasn't blocked up. All three pipes, the top of all three pipes are still above the water line, so the water's still flowing through there nicely. This roll of wire is doing a really good job of keeping that debris out of the way. Even like that big branch there, it's kept that out of the way, so that's been really good. I'm just going to clear a little bit of that out of the way, but yeah, this is still running fine. Still running strong and high, but at least the pipes are clear. In case you're wondering, yeah, that water is like ice. It's so cold. I don't know how Levi on Tassie Prospecting, I don't know how he gets in the water. I know he wears a wetsuit, but my God, that first minute must kill him because that water is so cold. Well, Kay and I went and had our first COVID shots this morning. Now, I know there's a lot of conjecture about that. The problem is, social media gave too many stupid people a voice. Hey, maybe I'm one of those stupid people. It gave me a voice, I'm reaching you. But no, seriously, I know there's a lot of conjecture about it. But you know what, when I really thought about it, I've been getting told to have injections all my life. You know, had to have injections before I went to school and all that sort of stuff. Nowadays, I think a lot of the schools, you can't even put your kids in there unless they've had their shots. A few people do question that, anti-vaxxers and that sort of thing, but the majority of people just go along with it, get their kids immunised, and they know that's part of the process. In the military, man, I've probably had 50 or more inoculations for just about everything under the sun. They say you're going to get it, you just go get it. You don't think about it. Kay and I have travelled overseas several times. Doctor says, oh, you're going to need this shot, and that shot before you go over. You just go get them done. No one questions it. So why all the conjecture now all of a sudden? I don't know. Anyway, no harm done. I'm still here kicking and breathing. So that was the first shot done. In a couple of weeks time, we'll go get our other one done. But yeah, I'm just heading across the paddock now. There was that other little area where I put a small white pipe through. I just want to see how that's going. I suspect that there could be some flooding up there too. I might need to look at that. Anyway, let's go and have a look at that now. Yep, just as I thought. Now, some of you might remember, if you've been following along for a while, when I was getting this bit of a roadway through, cleared all this out. I knew it was swampy. I did put in a small white pipe because it was just barely a trickle. But now there's obviously a lot more water than that. Again, this is just runoff from the hill. And the hill is probably only 80, 100 meters high up behind us somewhere, so it's not a huge amount of runoff. But you can see this has all been flooding in. Now that pipe, we need to find it actually, if I'm going to unblock it. So looking around here, there's the pipe there. So it should be just over in there somewhere. So I'm going to have to dig that out. This looks like all the leaves and debris has collapsed in on it. So I'll set up the tripod and I'll get to work and see if I can't dig some of that mud out and get that water flowing a bit better. I just cleared that because I can hear the water roaring through the pipe now. I've actually got a whirlpool right here, it's sucking through that hard. Okay, look at that. That's almost stopped running across the road already. That's only been just a couple of minutes. As I said, I've even got a whirlpool over here. And what you saw was that little trickle before. Now it's raging through, look at that. So as that drains down, see that's actually draining back in now. It's not even coming across the road anymore. So once that drains out, I'll clear a little bit more of that out. I'll dig a bit more out when I can see what I'm doing. Right now though, let's head up the top of the hill, go have a look at the cows, eh? All this water that's running down here, that's just coming off the hills, and the height of the hills is only just up to there. There's nothing higher than that ridge, so it's not a massive catchment area, but it just goes to show you how much rain we've had here. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to make this out, but all this moss and grass here, there's no excess water. As I come across the face of this hill, you can see up the back there, there's no excess water up there, but look at all this excess water here. This is just literally bubbling up out of the ground. It's just, and this is where a lot of that water's coming from. The ground's just so soaked with water. Come up here just a little bit and no more water. So it's just from behind me, it's just bubbling up out of the ground. And my little dam's full of water too. This is where I was digging that trench to lay that irrigation pipe the other week. The most noticeable marks are actually the marks that the tractor itself made with the wheels, not where I put the pipe in. The cows should be just over this paddock, and that wind's picking up and it's starting to rain again. Let's go see if we can find them. You can hear how squelchy that ground is under my feet. Probably down here hiding under the trees, getting a bit of shelter. Up over this way. Here they are. Oh, and Raven's down the back there. Gee, she blends in well. I didn't even see her. Being dark, she's blending right in. She probably thinks I'm bringing her up some food, so here she comes. I wonder where little Rosie is. I see a little Andy there. Oh, there she is. She's over the back near the fence. So they all seem happy enough, doing well. They're probably loving this colder weather. There's little Rosie over the back. I've got no food for you yet. I've got to go back and get it. That's right. I've got to watch they don't start bullying me. I think you're going to cut me off. I'm heading out this way. I'll bring you up some hay shortly. I think she wants me to get her some hay. Alright, I'm going to turn this off now. I need to focus. Well, I said it'd be a short one. That rain's coming down again. I'm just heading back now, back over to the car. I'll grab a couple of bales of hay, take it up for the cows, and then we'll have to call that a day. It's about 4:45. It's going to get dark very fast, so we'll see how we go. Anyway, you might get a couple more seconds of me feeding the cows after this if it's still light enough, but if not, I'm going to sign off now, and hopefully the weather might be a little bit better next week, although the forecast isn't predicting it, so we'll take it as it comes. Anyway, have a great weekend everyone. Stay safe. I'll see you next week. Cheers.